After 65, it's not your wrinkles that predict how long you'll live. It's not your blood pressure, not your cholesterol, not even your age. According to multiple international studies, a single movement done without any equipment can quietly reveal how much time you may have left. And here's the hard truth: if you can't perform this movement with control and confidence, statistics show you may have a 3 to 5 times greater risk of dying within the next 5 years, regardless of your diagnosis, medication, or how young you feel inside. It doesn't require strength, it doesn't require speed. What it does require is balance, coordination, and the neuromuscular control that fades when we stop paying attention. And most seniors don't even realize they're losing it until it's too late. Part one: what is the movement that predicts death within 5 years? It's called the sit to rise test, or SRT. No machines, no gym, no stopwatch, just your body and the floor. The test: stand barefoot on a flat surface. Cross one leg over the other, arms at your side or behind your back. Slowly lower yourself down to a seated position on the floor without using your hands, knees, or elbows for support. Then, from that same seated position, rise back to standing, again without using your hands, knees, or any outside help. That's it. And yet, this simple motion holds more information about your health, stability, muscular endurance, and longevity than most standard physical exams. A landmark study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology in 2012 followed over 2,000 adults aged 51 to 80. They found that people who struggled with the sit to rise test, especially those who needed to use their hands, knees, or fell during the attempt, had a substantially higher risk of death within the next 5 years. Each point lost in the test was associated with a 21% increase in mortality risk. Why? Because the test doesn't just measure one thing, it combines several critical systems all at once: muscle strength, legs, core, back, balance and coordination, joint mobility, especially hips and ankles, nervous system responsiveness, cardiovascular control during motion. In other words, it tells us, can your body still work together as a whole, or has it quietly started to break apart? What failing the test may reveal: loss of muscle mass, sarcopenia, early stage frailty, neurological decline, reduced flexibility in key joints, increased fall risk, underlying cardiovascular instability. And most dangerously of all, it reveals that your body may not be resilient enough to recover from injury, illness, or surgery, the very things that often shorten life after 65. If this test sounds simple, it is. But it's not about passing it perfectly. It's about knowing where you stand today and what steps you can take to keep moving safely and steadily. Because awareness is power, and prevention isn't in a pill, it's in a quiet moment on the floor. Part two: how to try the Sit to Rise test safely at home and what to watch for. The Sit to Rise test may look simple, but it reveals a lot, and it must be done with care. Especially after 65, safety and mindfulness matter more than speed or pride. This isn't about showing off, it's about listening to your body without judgment and without pressure. Let's walk through how to do it gently at home, step by step. Start in a quiet, open area with a soft surface. A yoga mat or carpet works well. Avoid hard floors or slippery areas. Have a sturdy chair or wall nearby, just in case you need support. And if you've had any recent surgery, falls, or balance issues, don't do this alone. Ask someone to stay close or consult your doctor first. Wear comfortable clothing and go barefoot if possible. That helps your body feel more stable and connected. From standing, cross one leg loosely behind the other. Then slowly begin lowering yourself into a seated position on the floor without using your hands, elbows, knees, or anything else for support. Pause for a moment. Then, from that same seated position, rise back to standing, again without using your hands or knees if possible. That's it. This test is scored out of 10 points total. You start with 5 points for sitting down and another 5 points for standing back up. Each time you need to use a hand for balance, or push off your knee, or touch the floor with an elbow, you lose 1 point. If you wobble, lose your balance slightly, or seem unsteady, you lose half a point. So, for example, if you use one hand to sit and one knee to rise, your score is about 8. If you struggle, wobble, or need both hands to get back up, you might score closer to 4 or 5. And if you need significant assistance or can't complete the test, the score could fall below 4. In the largest studies, a score below 4 was linked to a much higher risk of death within the next 5 years, even in people who otherwise looked healthy. Stop immediately if you feel pain in your hips, knees, or back, if you get dizzy or breathless, or if you feel off balance, scared, or unsure. This test is meant to inform, not to injure. This isn't a challenge, it's a conversation with your body. Some people will sit and rise with ease, others will struggle. Both are okay. What matters most is that you pay attention to what your body is quietly telling you. Because when the body starts losing coordination, control, and strength, it doesn't yell, it whispers. Let's learn how to listen. Part 3: How to improve your sit to rise score. The 4 muscle groups you must strengthen after 60. If the sit to rise test was difficult for you or even impossible, don't panic. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a smarter, more focused recovery. Because the ability to sit and rise from the floor isn't about youth or luck. It's about 4 critical muscle groups, all of which you can still improve no matter your age. Let's walk through each one and why it matters. 1, the quadriceps, front of the thighs. These are your power muscles. They help you stand up from a chair, step forward, and get off the floor. If your quads are weak, standing becomes a strain and your knees take the punishment. How to train them: chair squats, lowering to a seat, then rising slowly. Wall sits, with your back against the wall, knees slightly bent. Straight leg raises. If standing is too difficult, even doing just 5 to 10 gentle reps a day can slowly rebuild strength without hurting your joints. 2, the glutes, your backside. Often forgotten, these muscles stabilize your entire lower body. They protect your hips, improve balance, and give you the force to rise off the ground without falling backward. How to train them: glute bridges, lying on your back, lifting your hips gently. Step ups onto low platforms. Side leg raises, standing or lying. The stronger your glutes, the more stable and upright your body will feel, and the easier it becomes to rise. 3, the core, abdominals, and lower back. Your core isn't about a flat stomach, it's about control. It keeps you from tipping forward or backward when changing positions. Without core strength, even strong legs can't help you rise in a coordinated way. How to train it: seated knee lifts. In a chair, lift one knee at a time. Bird dog on hands and knees, extending opposite arm and leg. Deep breathing with abdominal engagement. A steady core gives your body confidence to move without wobbling. 4, the ankles and calves. These lower leg muscles don't just help you walk. They stabilize your body when you shift weight, and they control balance when your feet are in motion. Weak calves and stiff ankles are one of the top causes of falls in seniors. How to train them: calf raises, holding onto a counter for balance, ankle circles and toe taps, seated, heel to toe walking. Stronger feet and ankles give your nervous system better control, helping you feel connect to the floor, not disconnected from it. You don't need hours in the gym. You don't need a personal trainer or fancy equipment. You just need 10 to 15 minutes a day and the willingness to move again, slowly, consistently, and wisely. Because if your body can't sit and rise today, it doesn't mean it never will. It just means it needs your care. And you, yes, even now, have the power to give it that. Part 4: Daily micro habits that quietly rebuild strength after 60 without formal exercise. Not everyone enjoys workouts, and for many seniors, traditional exercise feels intimidating, painful, or simply exhausting. But here's something powerful you need to know: you don't need a gym to rebuild strength. You don't need to train to transform your body. What you need are micro movements, small, repeatable actions built into your day that strengthen your body quietly. Let's look at a few of the most effective micro habits that help improve sit to rise ability without ever setting foot in a fitness class. 1, no hands rule for chairs. Each time you sit down or get up from a chair, try doing it without using your hands. Even once a day, this simple effort strengthens your thighs, quadriceps, your glutes, backside muscles, your core stability. It may feel hard at first, but that's where the strength begins. 1 mindful stand up a day is better than 10 careless ones. 2, stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. Balance training doesn't require extra time, just a shift in how you use the time you already have. Try this. While brushing your teeth, lift one foot off the floor, just a few inches. Hold for 10 to 20 seconds, then switch feet. Use the sink for support if needed. This engages your ankle, calf, core, and brain all in one motion. 3. Heel raises while waiting for the microwave, the kettle, the bus. Standing still is a missed opportunity. So next time you're waiting, rise up onto your toes, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, lower slowly, repeat 5 to 10 times. This improves lower leg strength, circulation, and nerve activation in your feet. 4. Sit on the floor once a day. The more often you get down to the floor and back up, the better your body becomes at doing it. Try sitting on a soft surface once a day, while folding laundry, while playing with grandchildren, while watching TV, on a mat instead of a sofa. Even if you use a hand for support, the movement restores natural coordination and trains the very muscles the sit to rise test depends on. 5. 2-minute wall pause each evening. At the end of the day, stand with your back against a wall, heels touching the floor. Engage your core, relax your shoulders. Hold this tall, upright posture for 1 to 2 minutes. Why? Because this realigns your spine, awakens your posture muscles, resets your nervous system, builds awareness of your body and space, also called proprioception, which is key for balance and confidence. You don't need to be perfect. You don't even need to be fit. You only need to start. Because strength is not built by pushing harder, it's built by returning to yourself, moment by moment, habit by habit. In the small choices, how you stand, how you rise, how you breathe, that's where your future begins to change. Part 5. If you can't rise today, it's not the end, it's the invitation. So maybe you tried the test and you couldn't stand up without using your hands. Maybe you couldn't get down to the floor at all. Or maybe the fear of falling kept you from even trying. Let me tell you something, clearly and kindly. That does not mean you're broken. It does not mean you're too old. And it absolutely does not mean you're running out of time. What it means is that your body is asking for attention, not punishment, not perfection, just a little more care, a little more movement, and a little more love. The very same studies that linked sit to rise scores with early death also showed something else. Those who actively worked on strength, mobility, and balance, even in their 70s or 80s, were able to reverse their risks dramatically. In other words, if you can't rise today, that's not a sentence. It's an invitation to start slow, to move with kindness, and to rebuild one small habit at a time. Getting older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means learning what matters and letting go of what doesn't. And what matters now is not how many times you've fallen behind, but how gently you're willing to rise again. Not just from the floor, but from fear, from neglect, from the quiet belief that maybe you've already peaked. You haven't. You're still here. You're still breathing. And if you can move, even just a little, then you still have time. If this video helped you understand your body more clearly, please like it so other seniors can find this quiet wisdom too. Subscribe to True Senior Wisdom for weekly guidance on movement, mindset, and living with purpose after 60. And in the comments, tell us, were you able to try the Sit to Rise test? What's one small movement you're committed to working on this week? Because here, we don't chase youth. We honor strength, the kind that comes with age, awareness, and the courage to begin again. Your body may grow older, but your spirit can rise every single day.